What's up, guys? I'm Nick. Most of you guys probably know me as Ecomgom. I'm 21 years old and I'm not a guru. I'm actually a broke college kid turned entrepreneur who made his first $100,000 online all while still in college. And I didn't grow up rich. My parents are immigrants. My dad came here from Mexico with nothing. I wasn't handed some trust fund. I didn't have a crazy network, and I definitely wasn't destined to be like a business prodigy. I was pretty much like a straight B student my entire life. But I did figure out how to build a real business from my laptop, and in this video I'm going to be explaining step by step how you can too. And no, this isn't a get-rich-quick video. I'm not selling you like a Lamborghini dream. As you can see, I'm literally sitting in my college apartment. This is just what's actually working right now, and this is the exact way I built my branded dropshipping store and how you can start printing money from home as well. So step one is going to be finding a winning product, and let's talk about products because this is where most beginners mess up. Everyone online is searching for this magical, unsaturated product that nobody's ever seen before, but let me break something to you. That doesn't exist. There's no such thing as an unsaturated product. What matters isn't whether a product is new. What matters is whether it actually solves a real problem or attacks a real insecurity. The important word here is insecurity. The best-selling products I've ever run weren't revolutionary. They're honestly usually pretty boring. The boring products are usually the ones that make you rich. They were just simple solutions to everyday problems. They made people feel more confident, healthier, more attractive, more secure. So if you want a product to print, look for things that hit those emotional triggers. It has to solve a pain point. It has to improve someone's quality of life. And it has to tap into a deep insecurity. And that's how you're going to stand out, not by being first to a product, but by being more relevant. And as you can see here, this is actually an example of one of my first successful products I ever ran. It was remineralizing gum, and it solved a huge insecurity of, having yellow teeth. And the reason I was able to be profitable is because I had a monthly recurring revenue since I had a subscription offer, and therefore the margins were really good. And in all, it was really easy to market because I was able to take a unique selling point and market against the big name brands that were selling gum that had certain ingredients that were actually bad for your teeth. So I stepped in and I took a unique angle, and instead of marketing it as gum that's just going to make your breath smell better, I marketed it as gum that's going to actually whiten your teeth and strengthen your gums and enamel. And as a result, I was able to take a little piece of the market. If Ecomgom can leave you with anything, it's you don't need to dominate the market, you just need to take a little piece of the pie. I say that in every video, and I hope I can engrave it into your mind because it is the most true thing that I've ever been told and I'm ever going to tell. So now, once you got a product like that, here's where 90% of people fail. It's marketing, and this is the biggest aspect of any branded dropshipping store because you need to be getting traffic to your store at an efficient rate or you'll never be profitable. So think of it like this once again, you don't need to dominate the entire market, you just need to find a small gap in the market, a little opening, and wedge your brand into that space. Really ask yourself, what are other sellers missing? What's the angle that no one's really talking about? And how can I make people feel something when they see my ad? And that's where your unique selling point comes in. Your unique selling point, or you'll see people refer to it as a USP, is what makes you different. Maybe it's the way you position your product, maybe it's the brand story, maybe it's how you show the problem and solution in your ad. But remember, you don't need to reinvent the wheel, you just have to take a piece of the pie. And that's really what branded dropshipping is all about. So let's talk about the key pillars I use in my marketing strategy. And this goes for any product, not just the one I'm running. This is just a general framework for a good marketing strategy. So number one is the mass desire. And what is a mass desire? It is essentially what people want to get out of using your product. And that's the first thing you need to be testing for. You need to know what your customers are looking to get out of your product. And then once you have that, you can move on to testing different angles. And then once you have your different angles, you can move on to testing different image and videos and the creatives that are portraying that angle and that mass desire. And once I've dialed in that creative strategy, I look to making an advertorial. And what is an advertorial? It's essentially just like an article or a blog post, and it's selling your product before you're actually selling your product. And it doesn't seem like you're selling your product on it. It seems just like an organic article, but really down at the bottom, you're going to link your product to your product page. And if you run it correctly, people are going to read it, be informed, think it's really genuine, and then they're going to go to your product page and they're already going to be sold. And the whole point of an advertorial is to outperform your product page. So if you can't outperform your product page, you shouldn't be sending them to advertorial. Just send them to your product page. And after that, you should be printing enough money to spend it on whatever substance of use you please. For me, it's sports betting. But like I show in every video, this is the image ad prompt sheet I use to make all of my creatives. It's available in my Discord, and it is so in-depth, and this prompt sheet is an actual goldmine. I got it from a mentor of mine, and I made some changes and tweaked it. And all you do is follow the prompts from 1 to 11, and you copy and paste the whole prompt, and then you put into the highlighted regions what's applicable for your product, and boom, you put it into ChatGPT or Claude, and it will write you all the copy for your ads. It'll give you, your mass desires, your angles, all that good stuff. So yeah, this does all the work for you, so you don't have to. So now let's talk about the execution, because having the right tools definitely makes a big difference. And when I'm building my stores, especially when I first started, I always used Atlas AI. And what it does is it allows you to build a high converting product page in like minutes. You don't need a code, and you don't need to know anything about Shopify stores. That's why I recommend it to beginners all the time. And it's also really good for increasing your AOV. If you don't know what that is, that's average order value, and it's how much a customer is spending when they get to your product page. They have their own bundles and upsells built inside their app, so it's so easy to integrate and use on Shopify. And one of my favorite features of them is their AI product photo generator. You insert a couple pictures of your product, and it trains for like 3 hours, and then it spits you out like really, really high converting, clean AI product photos. And I use this for like all of my brands. And then for fulfillment, because I know everyone's gonna ask, I use TeamDrop as my supplier. They're reliable, fast, they handle all the back-end logistics, so I can just focus on, marketing and scaling. So I'll leave a link for them in the description below. And these 2 tools are the ones that I always recommend to everyone in my comment section, all my followers, everyone in my DMs. They're super beginner friendly, and I use them myself, or else I wouldn't preach about them. So to recap everything, first you're gonna find a product that solves a real life problem or insecurity, or just taps into an emotion. And then you're gonna market it with a clear, unique selling point, find the gap in the market and fill it. And then 3, you're going to leverage AI tools like Atlas so you don't spend 10 hours making your store and doing all the nitty-gritty work. And like I preface in every video, I'm not a guru, just a college kid who refused to accept the normal path of a 9-to-5. I didn't want to work a corporate job. I didn't want to work for someone else's dream, so I built my own. And if I can do it, I promise you, you can too. My advice is just get into it, just get started. And even though I'm doing my best to give out free sauce every single day, there's still people somehow that will find a way to hate in the comments, so, But if you want more breakdowns like this and access to the tools, templates, and even my private Discord community, all the links will be in the bio. And if this helped you out, do me a favor, like, subscribe, and drop a comment telling me what part of branded dropshipping you want me to go deeper on next. And I'll see you guys in the next video.